start with the bolster behind the back. So this will start off with a little bit of a heart. So the bolster long ways behind you, and then just let your body relax up and over. The arms just relax each side. Your legs can do whatever is comfortable. Some people like to just leave it cross-legged. Some people like to straighten them or put them in cobbler's pose. So whatever works for you right now is. Let a couple of good deep breaths flow. Huge inhales. Good long exhales. Keep on breathing in that way, just long and deep. Maybe take this moment to connect with an intention. So the idea that I was thinking about today was there was a concert I went to with the New Mexico Symphonic Orchestra where they had a soloist, and it's like I had never thought about it until I saw it happen. But there's the first person, the first chair violinist that the whole orchestra tunes to. So that person tunes their violin, and then everybody else has to match their notes. But yeah, so it makes it so the whole orchestra just, when they play one note, it matches all the way across. And so in their warm-up, they did this, but also even a soloist that they had special that day, the soloist, right before their solo, shook the hand of that head violinist, and then the soloist also took a moment to match the first chair. So I was thinking about that in relation to our bodies and how we can integrate everything together. So sometimes we wake up first thing in the morning and it's like the whole orchestra is playing their own notes, but by taking our yoga class, in our yoga classes, we move through stuff. We can imagine that our goal is to make it so the orchestra is playing the same note at the same time. So it's like everything is coherent. So that's our intention that I'd like us to move into today. So with that, while we're here on our back like this, I'd like us to start off with just a nice shoulder opener. So let the backs of the hands rest on the floor to each side. So flip your hands around. And then almost like we're tracing a snow angel, let the hands slide up. You're trying to keep the back of the hand in contact with the floor the whole time. So you might not be able to lift super high, but then once you're up high as you can get, drop it back down like a snow angel. Take that a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 cycles, slowly inhaling the arms up. Feel how this stretches through the pec area. And exhale back down. So this already is starting to tune some of the muscle groups maybe we don't always stretch. So another round up. And eventually down. Beautiful work. And then almost like an eagle's pose, we're going to wind the elbows around each other. So the right elbow goes under the left elbow. The forearms kind of wrap around. Maybe even the palms can wrap. Good. From here, push the shoulders down away from the ears, but then let the fingertips start to climb to the space above the crown of the head. So this should be helping the tops of shoulders stretch out nicely. So take a couple of breaths right there. And even just laying on the bolster like this is so helpful for our spine. Usually our chairs and even like the bucket seats in our cars kind of hunch us forward. So this is a chance just to be a little bit more open in the back. On the shoulder stretch, take one more huge breath. Good inhale. Exhale. The arms open out for a breath. And we'll wind the left elbow under right this time. Second side. Push the shoulders down away from ears, and then again, let the fingertips rise to the spot above crown of head. Very active breathing helps to connect the body and the mind a little bit more closely together. One more breath. Try to breathe all the way into belly space. Nice exhale. Good. Open the arms back out. And we'll use the bolster in a little bit, but we're done with it for a moment. So I'm going to roll off the end of the bolster and scoot the bolster off to the side. Then here we'll grab a block. We'll do a couple of things on our back before we transition on. So using the block. So we'll do a couple of different, you'll notice I kind of have this idea in my head around the class where we'll use props in a lot of the different poses. So you'll notice how the props can help us to find that awesome tuning together. But we're going to do a couple of core things. So put the block on the left side, and the left elbow is what holds it up. So feel how if you push the elbow and the thigh into the block, you've got that portion directly underneath that of the core that's really engaged. So keep that pushing going on. And then on this right side, inhale, stretch arm and leg away from one another. Exhale, touch elbow and knee on the right side. I'll stretch. Exhale, touch. Go for another 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Right away, we're going to switch sides. Block on the right side. Have that side already pushing into the block. Then we're going for 10 on the left. So inhale, exhale. 9. And it's okay if you're going a little faster or a little slower than me. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Now we'll use the block to help us stretch. So plant the feet on the floor. Actually, I'd like one more thing first. So put the block right underneath your feet. Do it at the medium height. So you'll have to play with exactly how far or how near the block can be. So that way it's, when you start to put weight into the block doesn't tip over. So we're going to do some bridge poses. So hands on the floor. Let's take 5. So inhale, rise up. Feel how the extra height of the block lifts you high. Roll all the way down. 4. Start by rolling at the tailbone and then rise up 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale 1 vertebrae at a time back down. And then 3. 2. And 1. Good work. Once you roll back down after that last one, re-grab the block. We're going to place the block under the hips. So medium height usually works for people. You can do the tall height, but that's a really deep back bend, so not everybody can handle that. So from here, just the right heel slides forward on the ground. You'll feel how that gets the front of the right hip, that psoas area. It helps it out because this very shape makes the muscle kind of pop forward and it stretches it at the same time. So kind of exposing it and lengthening. A couple more breaths for this right side. Good. Slide the right foot in, and then the left foot will slide forward. And just try to relax the front of the left hip now. Okay, slide the left foot closer. And from here, start to walk both feet forward. You don't have to go all the way to both legs extended straight. You're trying to just inch them forward until the back bend that you're getting is enough for your spine, but not too much. So for some people, going all the way forward would be way too much. Just find that back bend shape. Try to feel the back muscles relax here. Or inhale. Exhale. Good. Slide the feet closer. Kind of lift the hips off the block so you can remove the block, return the hips to the ground. For me, it takes a moment for that sacrum and the low back to feel good. So I like to either kind of shimmy the hips left and right, or maybe even hug the knees into the chest and kind of rock on the low back for just a moment. Helping everything kind of return back to a good aligned spot. Beautiful. When the back feels happy again, let's rock our way up to sitting. Let's take a cobbler's pose. So bottoms of feet together, the knees are open. If you want to try this with the props, you can try it, see if you like it. But it's essentially setting up a fort. You've got the two blocks and then the bolster right on top of that. Yeah, sorry. Get all the props closer. And from there, as you start to lean forward, it gives you something to rest on. That's okay. That's okay. So if just tilting forward is enough of a stretch for your body, great. You do also actually have the option to sit on the bolster instead, and then you can use gravity to help you tilt that way too. So you'll notice not every class has props like this, but when I add them in, there's lots of ways you can adjust it to make it easier or deeper. So. Okay, let's go ahead and extend your right leg forward and keep the left one tucked in. We'll move into that hamstring for a moment. So just kind of let the body relax. However much gravity will take over, let that try to take. So you'll start to get used to some of the poses too, where even if I have a class where I don't necessarily have full grab props, you can always just know, like in cobbler's pose, I like to have a bolster, so you can always have one just in case. So that's never going to be a problem when you use more props. Like, even if I'm not necessarily guiding the class in that, that's always. Go ahead, rise up and we'll switch to the other leg. And let your body relax. Okay, so rising up from here, let's swing the legs underneath the body. Be kneeling. And this is one too where some people just like to keep a blanket so that anytime they're feeling, they have that option. So you can always do that if you want it. But let's do a couple of cat cows. So we'll ground the spine up. That's the exhale. How belly button down, up. Get a couple of times synchronize with the breath. Exhale. Any of those extra wiggles are totally fine. Last one. The good thing I can hope for is people listening to their body. Just so now with the belly down, tuck the toes. Try to keep that arch in the spine as long as you can while you rise up over facing dog. Eventually, the spine will go more flat, but leaving it that way helps to prevent the kind of rounded sides we'll have. The knees can be a little bent, even kind of pulling them out while we're tight here at the beginning of class. So bend one knee extra exaggerated and then bend the other way. That can help to stretch the calves as well. And then from here, let's start stepping the feet up to the top of the mat, and we'll make it all the way to a forward fold. Some people like to have a block under their hands here, but it's up to you. Just soft bend to the knees, roll up. We'll use the blocks for a little while. So put one block at the low height in front of us. We're going to try to balance like some hack stuff. So balance with your balls of your feet on it. We're going to try to drop the heels just a little lower than the line of the block, and then feel slowly lift up. Down. Up. So notice if you squeeze in our thighs together, it helps with that. Try smart, down. One more. Good work. So now leave the ball of the right foot up, just step the left foot back, and the right heel, you'll drop it off the edge so that it can stay on the ground. Awesome. This is going to be a calf stretch. So if the, yeah, you got it. Heels in contact with the ground. So we're going to start leaning forward to get into the calf. So it could be helpful to have the second block so that you can, drop the hands onto it. Some people stack the blocks for the hands, and some people drop it off to the side. You're just going as deep as low as it takes for you to really feel that calf stretch. Love the breath side right here. We'll roll the spine up, so soft bend to the knees to roll up. We'll switch the legs out. So left ball foot is up, the heels contact the floor. Good. Start to roll down. And let that calf relax. Breath in, out, soften the knees, and if you're ready, let's grab our blocks. We'll use our blocks now for a little bit of strengthening, so we can do a little flow to warm up the body a bit more. So we'll start off with a fierce pose, so big toes together, toes slightly separated. Remember that as you sit back, the knees are not going forward, and the glutes are going back. Arms forward, a little bit of weight. Fierce pose. Set your thighs together. Sometimes the low back, I'll even curl under a little bit, so that'll get. So from here, the right knee is going to rise to stand. We're trying to keep the blocks balanced in our hands. Let's take it back to like a variation of warrior three. You'll need to swivel blocks in, go out to air. Love that right there. Good, you got it. And then uncircle to land the right foot in warrior one. And float the hands up while balanced. Front knee still bent. Open up warrior two. Front knee strongly bent. From here, this will be the strengthening part. The blocks like in close to shoulders and out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now clap the blocks together in front of you. Lift that up overhead. And then lean the torso forward to the front leg just a little bit. It makes the front leg work just a little harder. Good. And rise back up. Beautiful. Now inch the blocks to be under the hands. You're going to rotate into a half moon. So the block, instead of landing in front of the front foot, it's going to go to an outside angle like this. Cartwheel down, land the block, and try to stack everything right on top. Good. I'm going to take the foot like a little higher. It's fine. And land back down. Face forward, warrior one. And then we're transitioning to a pyramid pose. So you'll need the back toes to be comfortably down. The front leg straightens for this one. I like the back toes to be turned in just a little more. That's it. And drop the blocks to the floor. Some the hamstring stretch for that front leg. So try to keep the front leg as straight as possible without locking. So before we switch sides, we'll try out a standing split. So we bump the blocks forward, and then this back leg tries to fly as high as you can, like a split. Sometimes people keep their hands on the blocks, so people drop hands on the floor. This is one that could be a balancing one too, where a person could wrap the hand around that left ankle, one hand, or both hands. From here, just softly drop down into a normal forward fold. Let the back muscles relax. Softly bend the knees, grab the blocks, roll back. Then to the other side, we start with the balance. Fierce pose, knees are close together. Let's sit back. Come back to warrior three. Swivel the hands around. Warrior. It's hard. Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes one side is like, nope, I'm not going to do that today. Okay, uncircle the arms, land warrior one. The hands are kind of just floating to a comfortable level. Extend. Exhale, warrior two. And then this is the one, the block. Slide in close to shoulders. Back. There's 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 2. 1. Back to warrior two for just a moment. This is where we're at. Try to see if your knee can open a little bit more toward the toe direction. That's really good. I'm going to tuck the tailbone under just a hair. Okay, back the blocks together. Head up overhead. And then angle the whole torso forward just a little bit. Good. It's a little challenge for the legs. Beautiful. Rise back up. Now we're readjusting the grip to just hold on the block on the bottom. Cartwheel downward from half moon pose. I would bump the block just a little further forward, so like more of the shoulder. That looks great. Yeah. Back to everything else. Gonna take the leg a lift high. Good. And like a reverse cartwheel, land the back foot. Square the hips forward and shorten the stance. Front leg can straighten, and then start to knees down, pyramid pose. Split, so look the blocks forward, float the left leg high, and tilt the torso forward. Sometimes the hands will bump down to the floor or wrap around the right calf. And drop down forward. It's super easy for the hands to touch the floor. You could add a challenge by stepping on a block and then trying to skip the foot. You don't have to do it, but it's an option if you want to. Keep the block out. Roll the spine up and blocks again. Exhale forward. Up, lift. I'll drop the fingers to the floor, just the right leg slides back, then lower that to the ground. Move the blocks under the hands. I'll give you a couple of options for this one. The hips try to think forward, and then if that's enough, yeah, you got it, that looks great. So if that's enough stretch for the front of the hips, this is an okay spot to stay. If you feel like you want more, you've got two more options. You can either take hands to the thigh, but yeah, just make sure you're not backing the hips off at all. Or just keep the blocks back as something to rest your fingers on is bring the heart up. The block out in front. The front leg is going to take an extension forward. So this is going to be a half split. You have some options here again. So just leaning forward like this is the nice easy version. If at any point you want to try to inch the front leg forward more, you could. Some people get to the point where they've scooted it far enough forward that they can sit on a block. So you don't have to get there, but just whatever helps fill the hamstring stretch. Okay, then you're good. Yep, you're in the stretch.
Top is quad, back is
That's it. You got it. Yep. Turn this into pigeon pose. So scoot the block up to the sides for a moment. Front foot kind of tilt the foot closer to the right and swivel the left down. Good. And then if you wanted to add some props, like a block under the left hip, that's an option. Or sometimes it's fun to get the bolster around in front so you can just rest on it. There's lots of ways to use the props. Good. Your line closer. I want you to purposely drop your left hip down to the floor. Your right leg swing all the way around. Plant it here in front. So yeah, leave the left one and it's the right one. Swing it around and plant it on the outside. So you're doing the opposite. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. So leave, yep, that's the way, just like that. Okay. Now we'll take a little twist. So your left hand or your left elbow hooks around the right knee. Other twist to the front first side. Yeah, that's it. I can even feel this in the outer hip area that I do down. So facing back forward, we'll lean forward so you can either keep the knee stack if that's comfortable with both sitting bones down on the floor, or you can move it down to an easier level with the shin stack or even just possibly the knee forward. So any of those options is totally good. For me, this one gets my glutes in a way that not many stretches can get. Rise up. Swing the legs around underneath you. We'll do all that on the spin back. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of shake the hips for a moment after such deep stretches. And wiggle for great. Now for the second side, we need right foot to front forward. Block under each hand to be helpful. And first and foremost, we're in that deep hip stretch. So yeah, version 1, it's just hands on block. Version 2, hands on the side, but the hips don't seem too further forward. Version 3 would be fingertips with the blocks just a little bit. Okay, heading into the hamstring now. Front leg stretches forward. And this has the options if you want to forward or take the other variation that I think you want. Moving back, I'll flip the foot over for pigeon, set the knee down, back leg scoots as far back as it can get. You want a block on the right hip, that's fine. Bolster in front is fine. One more breaths. And pull into belly. Drop the right foot to the ground. This left one swings all the way around. And I can cross on the other. I think yeah, there you go. Like this one just doesn't look hard for you. That's okay. That's your right hand or your right elbow that twist to the back. Okay. Back forward, maybe the knee stack, the shin stack, or the cross leg, whatever hip feels, whatever level feels comfortable. rising up. We're gonna wrap up with a few more stretches now using the bolster. So coming back to kneeling. Bring your bolster to your left side. And place your left hand on it. We're going to try to get over the friction and then slide it as far as it can to the left. So this sets up essentially a frog pose. We can drop down the elbows when it's as far out as it can get. Nice padding for the knees as well. The inner thighs, try to relax for a moment. It does stretch some of the stuff that the cobbler's pose was trying to go for as well. So using gravity to help the side movement balance. Hands. Keep the bolster to the middle for a moment. The leg that was just on the bolster is straight off of that side. And from here, you can either stay leaning forward like this if this is enough inner thigh stretch, lower to elbow on bolster, or elbow to rising up. Look nice and high. Slide the left hand on the left leg, right hand up. Rise up, drop the left leg down, bolster to the right. Knee on it, scoop it out as far as it can get. Drop down the the bolster to the middle. Got the right leg straight off to the right. Lower elbow down to bolster or floor. There's that. Slide the right hand on the right leg, left up and over. Okay. So we're heading to that kind of class where we can get into our Shavasana pose, just that restful pose at the end. So since we have all these props, I'll give you a couple of options you could use if you want to. So some people will set up just the bolster or the bolster and the blocks right under the knees. So that way it's super, super comfortable for the low back. Some people will do the bolster behind the back, like how we started, or even the bolster with some of the blocks to help create a ramp. So that way it's really comfortable. So you've got lots of options you can play with. I'll let you kind of start to build your Shavasana that you want and lay back. Yeah, I noticed there's a bug right there, so I'm gonna take care of it. We used to don't have to worry about it. So yeah, no, yeah, I'll get it. So that way there's no worry. But yeah, start to head to your Shavasana. Okay, good. I'll just fling him outside. Yeah, I'll just fling him outside. No worries. Yeah, but we'll just be in Shavasana. So this is basically the integration time of class. So all you have to do is just breathe. So what this does is we've done lots of poses today. There's lots of benefits to all parts of our body. So all you have to do is just breathe and imagine it's like that orchestra. Everything's taking this moment to play the same note. So that way you can check that this note is in harmony. Maybe with your next breath, it's like there's another long, beautiful note, and the whole system's in harmony with that note. Just keep breathing, relaxing, integrating. Imagine it's like the whole orchestra just warming up to this beautiful masterpiece that's ahead of us. next few minutes to slowly return. Just start off with a few deep, full breaths. Body start to take stretches that feel good. Eventually, people like to take a fetal position to one side. And so if you want to, you can roll over to a side and just take a couple of good deep breaths. Eventually, when you're ready, you're welcome to rise up to a comfortable sit. I'd like to wrap up full circle back where we began. So think of our body now as this tuned orchestra. By stretching, by breathing, by calming our mind, everything's working a little bit more coherent, harmony. So we have this power of harmony as we move forward into our day. Like all parts of us are working together, like when the oxen pull together rather than struggle against one another. So with this extra power, this awesome day ahead of us, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale. Be filled with light, happiness, and namaste.